So let's start. So hello everyone. My name is Eliani Pereira. I work as a technical writer for the REL team for some projects. And today I'm here to talk to you about Cursor in the documentation. So I believe that you already worked with Cursor in your projects for development, but today I would like to show you how we could use it. Yeah, how we could use it for your documentation practice. So we're going to discuss today some ways to use the cursor, and I will start to show in practice. Let me see here if I can share my screen and start to show you. So we have this very basic tool for cursor, and that's called the chat, and it's like what I'm most using at the moment. So just taking over, present. Oh my, maybe it's too small, but anyway, I don't know how to make it bigger. It's so small. Okay, so I will be using the Foreman documentation. I create a clone and repo the repository here. So I will show you how you can use this. For example, let's say that I want to start by checking random documentation. So I opened a random doc here, and I will open a chat panel, and I will input it to ask the tool to show me, let's say that there is some inconsistency or there is some information that I could update here. So I'm putting here my input, and I will ask the tool to provide some details. So it will think a little and then start to provide details to you. And yeah, usually takes some time to read the information and see if what it can compares against. But once it's done, it will provide you some details that you must check to ensure that everything is correct. So, for example, here it found some grammar issues, some inconsistencies. If you want, you can change it, and of course, if it makes sense to you. Yeah, now, yeah, okay. So it starts to show you like, oh, okay, I could find the information that you asked me to, and it's just added here directly into the file. So in case you want to accept the change, you can just click keep. And if you don't like it, you can just make some changes here in the note that was added. So, and that after that, you can just save the file and perform like the steps to update the documentation for yourself. Okay, so another tool that, another feature that you could add here, it's about enforcing best practices with your external sources. So let's say that you have some URL that you use that you are always comparing documentation, or you have some best practices that is available on some websites that you would like to check, or even some features that you have for your internal team. Let's say that, for example, for our team, we use the IBM style guide, but it could be anything that you are using. If you have some best practice guides that you would like to make sure that's used. So in our case, I will just add the IBM style guide here. So there's at here that you can add context. And when you click here, you can just copy and paste this and add the content. So maybe you could add some name to the context that you are adding. Say IBM style guide. Again. Okay, so I can confirm that this context is available for me. And I can open here a new chat. And for example, the same, maybe a different guide. Let's say just open randomly here. So let's say that I want to check against IBM style guide, how to check what's happening here, if I can improve or if there's anything that could be updated in this content. So I would just input here and ask to check against the IBM style guide and create a list with the non-compliance items and suggest a fix and also report nothing else. So I don't have anything that it's not relevant to the code here. So every time you add a context, it will be indexed in the content for that specific chat. You can remove it at any time you want. And as it indexed, every time that you are using it, it will use that version. If you want to update versions, you need to add this again. So sometimes it will ask you to, if it can search across your content, so you can just click yes, and it can check what's happening here. Cursor takes some time to digest everything that you are doing. And usually it's updating notes, for example, oh, what I'm planning to do, and then it will provide an answer for you. So once again. Still thinking. Okay, so as I understand, the upstream documentation should not follow like some strict rules that we have in the IBM style guide. So for example, it says that we are using informal language, but that's okay because the upstream documentation should be like this. But for example, it's finding some double spacing, passive voice, but it depends. Like you can analyze, is this right for me? Is this would be useful for me? Every time you see some results, you need to check if it is useful for you. So do not just blindly check and accept everything that is taken from you. Okay, so the next feature that I'm using, it's when you want to enforce rules, but these rules needs to be automatically enforced. So they will act like as a persistent rules, and it will be enforced on the documentation standards. So for example, I noticed that sometimes the Foreman documentation refers to Foreman service with non-capital letters, and sometimes it's capitalized. So this is something that you could add here. So to add rules, you can go here on settings. There's a space for rules and comments, and you can add rules on the user level. So let's say something that you want to use for your personal work. For example, I have some here for create short descriptions for single files, using instead of using, some situations that it's explained. And for example, I can add here another rule that I want to ask the content to just give me information that is short. There's no fluff in it. So I'll just copy the note here. So, okay, I will add it manually. So let's say I want to add a rule. I'll just click here and reply in concise style. Style, no fluff. So this rule is done. So every time that I talk to the tool in the chat, it will provide like the most straightforward information. You can also add rules to your project, so it will be valid for the entire team. I didn't try this. I don't think that I have the rights to do this, but in case you think that's useful, you could do that as well. Okay, and the is about the agent mode and creating documentation automatically. I know that this is something that we should not do, but I want to use this in a way that you can create like an skeleton for you. And you, of course, you need to review, ask for SME review, like the right people need to check this. So let's say, I notice here in the documentation that there is a 414 for the provision and guide. So when I tried to find, I could not find more information about this. So I would try to ask the tool to create this documentation for me so I know where I could start. So I came with an input here that asks the tool to create this documentation, but it will be based on the other style guides that are here, existent guides, and it will use the template that I found that it's about the management feature that is the provisional template. So I will ask the tool to create and see if this works. So in this case, of course, it will be like to spare you some time on working, for example, with the making the style and providing all this content. You are not just skipping the beautifying part, and you are just having like a content that you can start from that is almost ready. But of course, again, you must review it and ensure that everything is correct. So as it is a bigger task, it's taking like longer time, but it will give you something. So it's reading everything here to provide the most useful details for you. Okay. Just still thinking here. I think that this can be used, for example, for people that want to contribute to your documentation and they want to start somewhere. Let's say they see that something is missing or is incorrect, so they could use cursor in these situations. And as they have this ability to submit the content for you to review and everything, it would be useful for you to have this kind of help from external people. And when people, they start to be involved with documentation, the next steps is like want to be involved with the project. So it's good to bring people for you. And it's still creating this, so bear with me. And usually it creates you a document in the correct format that you are using for your document. And in case you want to use it, you can just go with the procedure to create merge request and something for your code. And when you have it, you can just submit it for reviews and so on. And it's safe because you can work on your own repository, and then you can submit this for upstream changes or reviews or so on. Okay, I see here that it's providing the provision guide for each of the versions. So yeah, SDP, Windows. So as it is creating, and it will keep creating for each of the distributions you have for computers, I can just open one and show you like how it looks and see if it is useful for you. So this time it's like when the humans come and start to work and check like, is this useful? Does it make sense? Are there any hallucinations here? Can I use this? It's completely working. So this is one of the situations that you could create something and start to work from something that was pre-created for you. So the most important is always review what you're creating. Like, don't go blindly and just accept that the tool is creating for you, because it may be wrong a lot of times. And that's it. I think that it could be a good tool for you. You could add your workflow or use it for small tasks that you can use. And I encourage everyone to try. it may be useful for you or not. I noticed that some people, they don't go well with this tool, but it's an option for you. And I think it's a good tool for the documentation. So that's it. And I wanted to finish here and ask you, like, do you have any questions, comments, suggestions, anything? And of course, I make myself available if you want to check by yourself on your computer. And I want to thank you for having me here. To Aneta, thanks so much. To Thomas Chapak. And thank you, everyone.